Paul writes, "We have brought nothing into this world, and neither can we carry anything out. So having sustenance and covering, we shall be content with these things." True, a family needs more than just food and clothing. It also needs somewhere to live. The children need an education, and there are medical bills and other expenses. Still, the principle of Paul's word applies. If we are content to satisfy our needs rather than indulge our wants, life would be easier. Another helpful principle is found in one of Jesus' illustrations. He said, "Who of you that wants to build a tower does not first sit down and calculate the expense to see if he had enough to complete it?" Jesus is here speaking of forethought, planning ahead. We saw in previous chapter how this helped when a young couple are thinking of getting married. And after the marriage, it is also helpful in managing a household. Forethought in this area involves having a budget, planning in advance to make the wisest use of available resources. In this way, a family can control expenses. Setting money aside for spending on essentials each day or each week, and not live beyond its means. In some countries, such budgeting might mean having to resist the urge to borrow at high interest for unnecessary purchases. In others, it might mean keeping a tight rein on use of credit cards. It also might mean resisting impulse buying, purchasing something on the spur of the moment without weighing needs or consequences. Further, a budget will make it apparent that selfishly wasting money on gambling, smoking, tobacco, and excessive drinking harms the family's economic situation, as well as it goes contrary to biblical principles. Okay.
What though of those who are forced to live in poverty? For one thing, they can be comforted to know that the worldwide problem is only temporary. In the great approaching new world, Jehovah will eliminate poverty along with all other evils that occur, misery to mankind. In the meantime, true Christians, even if they are very poor, do not feel total despair, desperation, for they have faith in Jehovah's promises. "I will by no means leave you, nor by any means forsake you." Hence, a believer can confidently say, "Jehovah is my helper. I will not be afraid." In these difficult times, Jehovah has supported his worshipers in many ways when they live by his principles and put the kingdom first in their lives. Great numbers of them can testify, saying, in the words of Apostle Paul, "In everything and in all circumstances I learned the secrets of both how to full and how to be hungry, both how to have an abundance and how to suffer. What for all things I have experienced by virtue of him who impels power to me." Toward the end of the earth ministry, Jesus said, "You must love your neighbor as yourself." Applying these counsels in the family helps enormously in the household management. After all, who are other nearest, dearest neighbors, if not those who share the family's dwellings, husbands and wives, parents and children? How can family members show love for one another? One way is for each family member to do this fair share of household chores. These children need to be taught to put their things away after using them, whether there be clothes or toys. It may take time and effort to tidy the bed each morning, but it is a big help in the management of the household. Of course, some minor temporary disrays is unavoidable, but all can work together to keep the home responsible, neat, as well as to clean up after meals. Laziness, self-indulgence, and grudginess, relentless spirits have a negative effect on everybody. On the other hand, a cheerful, willing spirit it ensures a happy family life. God loves a cheerful giver.